All right, got my last two projects mid-December for the year. Tomorrow's a travel day. I've got Zoom conference calls this afternoon with both projects. I had a third project, the one I was the most excited about, and I'm not sure at the moment if it didn't happen or I just didn't get booked and they used somebody else. I think they just decided not to document the event. But regardless, I'm shooting a commercial for a major brand tomorrow. Tomorrow's a travel day, shoot day, the following. But we'll get into that as we get there. I'm going to be doing a lot of driving for these last two jobs, and I want to get the oil change, and I also want to buy some of that questionable juice you put in the gas tank to clean the fuel injectors. I had injector problems with my last diesel pickup. That truck had all kinds of issues, but injectors were a constant thing that's plaguing me. The mileage is getting up on this vehicle, and I've never conditioned the injectors, and I think it's long overdue. Business admin stress point every December is figuring out what healthcare plan to enroll in for the upcoming calendar year. And thanks to some viewers, one specifically that suggested I also compare HSA, high deductible savings health plans. And I didn't realize I did this for a year or two long ago, like 15 years ago, and then sort of forgot about it. But the short of it is, and using AI to assist and compare for tax advantages, we enrolled in an S-Corp plan for next year. It was more tax advantageous than doing an ACA plan with after-tax money and getting some unknown at this point subsidy based on what Congress decides on for this upcoming year, if they extend the pandemic era benefits for those beyond the income cliff of which I am. So with that knowledge, we went with a company HMO, still high deductible, but I'm also going to have the company contribute to the HSA Max, which is also tax deductible, and I'll just take a lower W-2 income to offset that increased cost that we were paying with after-tax personal dollars. So tedious and boring, but the takeaway for me is this is the first year I've used AI to help me decide which plan to go with, and it opened up some tax efficiency situations that I hadn't previously considered. Held a company board meeting, which is myself and my wife, spelling out the projected sales and my comp for next year, which will be the first year I'm considering just making the media business part-time at 2 to 4 shoot days a month, and if more business comes in, then fantastic, I'll take it, and we'll adjust the numbers. Healthcare is more than our housing costs, so next year, I've built our passive income and real estate portfolio that I self-manage to the point where it covers all of our personal expenses, less big ticket items like a new car, and it does not cover healthcare. So at a minimum, I just need the business to cover healthcare costs. Leander, Texas. Looks like we are one of two vans, which is also one of two guests at the hotel tonight. Temps dropping. I think it's going to get into the 30s. It was 80 yesterday. It's crazy. Producer from California flew into Texas for this commercial level project, and I was able to bring in local production company Screenville Films to do all the hard work on the ground. Vanessa crushed it. We started with 2 vacant houses and had to do a full art department, dress them with full furniture and everything and make them look lived in. Big cast, big cast. I think it was like maybe 8 people total. Wardrobe, hair, makeup, kids, dogs, families, all the usual stuff to wrangle. And Vanessa did an amazing job. What a killer team. I can't wait to work with the same departments again coming up next year. And big thank you to producer Jeremy for trusting me on this one. He's doing a significantly larger shoot in LA as I record this voiceover. I hope that's going well. And first time I worked for this end client was 2018. And feels great. I haven't lost my chops running off a slider, directing actors, setting marks, being able to do repeat takes. I've been in this groove for so long now, shooting real people, corporate comm stuff, and then journalism style, documenting news events where you don't have any control. You're just documenting the outcome. So great to get back to a filmmaking format. I'd forgotten how much I enjoy it. So I'll get a little taste again. Back to business planning for next year. So I'm considering it. part-time endeavor, essentially keeping the business alive to provide healthcare benefits for the family. And then I'll also work off a payroll base rate of 60 an hour, assuming I think it was 360 roughly hours for next year. And then if I shoot more days, the payroll will adjust accordingly based on how many hours I'm clocking on set on a job. And then the admin time, I probably got to discount that a bit. It's so tough in this business. That stuff so often is just like on uncompensated, prep days and all that. Now, this isn't the billable to the clients. This is what's left over on the company side. And as I broke down a few vlog posts back, this past few years, 50% of my revenue is covering expenses, company overhead, insurance, healthcare premium. So I'm thinking I'm going to bill about 110 or 120K next year on the super conservative side. And that only leaves about 21,000 in comp for me. All right, I'm going to make a bold or maybe not so bold claim here, but to be a freelance owner operator, comparing it to just taking a full-time job in a media department, if the corporate gig pays 80 to 120K a year salary and includes some benefits and healthcare, to do that on your own and take home similar comp, your business has to be doing about 220, 240, or even 260,000 a year in total sales because of the CapEx cost of buying new camera lenses and gear to stay relevant with clients. Got my commercial van on the road. I got to pay for business insurance that meets my corporate clients' requirements on coverage. And then healthcare is significantly more expensive as a small business. Dinner in the oil fields. What are we eating?
Steaks.
New York strips. The stove out. I'm done. I put on 5 pounds in the last 2 weeks eating restaurant meals 2 and 3 days a week because I've been working so much. Back to straight protein. Brazil. And we sprung right into the travel day for the next job, 2-hour drive home from Leander overnight. And then next morning, 5-hour drive, which was 7 hours with all the pit stops and meals. West Texas, oil country. And I'm documenting the install of equipment at a health facility. And I got to go back up there at least one more time, hopefully multiple going forward. External corporate comms, marketing content for the parties involved in this construction project. And this was my last job of the year in the calendar. And while I was out there in the 39-degree weather shooting B-roll, I got an inquiry, last minute booking, which gave us 1 day to travel home and turn right around and go on out to the next one, which is I think it's a 3.5-hour drive to that location overnight, 2-day shoot. And we'll get into those details in the next vlog. Back to the business side. Yeah, is it worth it next year to work for the amount of comp I'm going to bring in, considering all the effort, overhead, risk, and expense and standby time? I think it is for the healthcare, but there's also that quandary of like, if I lowered my income a little bit, it would also lower the healthcare cost through subsidies, but it's not proportional. And I love to shoot and want to keep shooting. And like I said, these are like very conservative minimum numbers. I'm sure I'll surprise myself and get more work next year.